Welcome back to Panda Audiobooks. Jian Wushuang has rocked the continent with his raw power, and now, the main event is underway. In our last episode, Wushuang dominated the preliminary trials, proving his breakthrough was real and earning the ire of the regional elite. Today, the ultimate test begins. Chapters 56 through 60 thrust Wushuang into the direct, high-stakes elimination matches of the grand competition. He will face off against the supreme geniuses and top seeds who have dominated this domain for years. These battles require not just power, but cunning, new techniques, and absolute ruthlessness. Wushuang must secure a crucial victory against a major rival to prove he belongs not just among the elite, but at the very top. The continent watches. The fight for ultimate glory starts now. Chapter 56 begins right away. Chapter 56. Death to those who stop me. Dongfang Yu stood on the roof of an attic, looking cold. He had 5 experts following him earlier, but now one was missing. There were too many spiritual Sea Realm warriors in the Qianhuan sect. Though Dongfang Yu and his 5 companions of the exceptional spiritual Sea Realm were strong, it was not enough for them to rampage through the sect. Not too long ago, they even lost one of their companions in a fierce battle. It's been 2 hours. Those Qianhuan sect warriors that weren't dead had all fled. There aren't many of them left. We've found 3 interspatial ring. I suppose the rest have found the remaining 7, said Dongfang Yu. The 4 people behind him appeared grim. Dongfang Yu would definitely claim one of the 3 things, while they had to share the remaining 2. 2 of them were destined to go back empty-handed, failing to accomplish the mission. These 2 interspatial ring. Dongfang Yu was just about to assign the rings between themselves. Boom! When they felt a terrifying aura suddenly emerging, the 5 of them immediately turned toward the source of the aura. They saw robed shadows appearing one after another, all wearing masks and bearing intense murderous intentions. The one who was the most striking was the man with the silver mask. He was the source of the terrifying aura they felt earlier, so strong that Dongfang Yu could not help the change in his expression. Gold Core. It's an expert of the Gold Core realm. There's actually an expert of the Gold Core realm in the Qianhuan sect. Everyone from the Golden Dragon Palace was also shocked after sensing the fearsome aura. The difference between the primordial Gold Core and the spiritual Sea Realm was like heaven and earth. Even Dongfang Yu, who was close to achieving the Gold Core, would be defeated by an expert of Gold Core realm. Worse, he could even be instantly killed. The fearsome aura burst forth from within the silver-masked man, seemingly forming a great storm. When the man charged forward, the storm seemed to be swept away. Death to those who stop me! The man roared, creating a commotion in the Qianhuan sect that had just recently fallen into a brief silence. Let's go, fast, Dongfang Yu said. Together with his 4 companions, he jumped off the roof in haste and disappeared. He was afraid to even show up in the robed men's line of sight for fear of them targeting him. Whoosh! A figure abruptly appeared before the group of robed men. It was none other than the grey-clothed elder, Mr. Hua. Are you people from the Blood Feather Tower? Mr. Hua appeared grim. He did not expect there would be so many assassins of the Blood Feather Tower to be hidden within the Qianhuan sect. Good that you know. The silver-masked man relaxed when he saw the man before him was a mere gold core warrior and realized that the Golden Dragon ambassador was gone. He sneered and said, "Our Blood Feather Tower doesn't intend on making enemies with the Golden Dragon Palace. Today, you're here to destroy the Qianhuan sect. That has nothing to do with us. We just so happen to witness it. In that case, then I ask you that you leave immediately. In addition, you're not to fight with these rookies who have just accepted the mission of the Golden Dragon Guard. Otherwise," Mr. Hua said in a low voice. As the #1 assassination organization of Qianzhong dynasty, the Blood Feather Tower did not have a pervasive influence in the Qiannan province. But it was better not to provoke them if there was not a need to. Don't worry. We just want to leave this place. We naturally won't hurt them as long as they don't stop us. The silver-masked man smiled. He glanced at the 8 black-robed men beside him and said, "Let's go. Kill anyone who dares to get in our way." Yes. Their figures blurring into mere shadows, The black-robed men jumped onto the pavilion roof and started leaping from one roof to another. Whether it was the remaining Qianhuan sect disciples or the rookies from the Golden Dragon Palace, none dared to stop the impressive sight of an expert of Gold Core Realm leading 8 exceptional spiritual Sea Realm warriors. Just then, Jian Wushuang had stepped out of the attic after breaking through into the ultimate spiritual sea. The moment he came out, he instantly sensed the terrifying aura permeating the Qianhuan sect. He immediately leaped to the roof, finding Yin Minute and Ling Qianhao already there. Those are... Yin Minute and Ling Qianhao noticed many robed silhouettes leaping across roofs, charging in their direction. They were particularly frightened by the terrifying aura bursting from the silver-masked man. They both immediately recognized the silver-masked man. It's a gold core standout. 1 gold core and 8 profound spiritual Sea Realm warriors. They're heading in our direction. Let's retreat. They did not hesitate and also warned Jian Wushuang. Swordsman, hurry up and leave. But Jian Wushuang did not show any signs of wanting to escape. He remained rooted in place, staring coolly at the robed shadows before him. Black robes, masks, blood feather tower. He muttered these 3 words through gritted teeth, as a burning killing intent raged within him. OM. He swiped at the men with a ringing sound, releasing his sword essence. The majestic stream of murderous intention and sword essence merged together to be one and flew up to the 9th heaven. The incomparably mysterious power within his body, the power of sword soul, in his body seemed to be gradually awakening at the same time. Jian Wushuang had unsheathed his triple-kill sword in a flash and stood coolly on the roof of the attic as if he was the king of swordsmanship dominating everyone's lives and deaths, drawing everyone's attention to him. Swordsman, hurry up and go. Yin Minute and Ling Qianhao were surprised to see Jian Wushuang not escaping. Instead, he was standing there bearing a strong intention to battle it out with the robed men. In every corner of the Qianhuan sect, the surviving warriors who had accepted the mission were all standing on rooftops. They had also spotted the figure emitting a strong fighting desire. It's him. It's the swordsman. These people recognized Jian Wushuang. What is this trash trying to do? He must have gone mad with fear. 8 of those black-robed men were exceptional spiritual Sea Realm warriors, and the last was even an expert of Gold Core Realm. He should have retreated after seeing such a group. Dongfang Yu said, he's really digging his own grave. Chapter 57. Swordsman, Outburst of Power. On the roof, Jian Wushuang had the aura of a master swordsman as he stared at those black-robed men with a chilling expression. Both sides continued moving towards each other. The black-robed men fiercely raced across the rooftops. Upon noticing Jian Wushuang standing in their way, their eyes flashed with killing intent. Kill him, said one of the black-robed men. Like to said to Mr. Hua, they only wanted to leave. But if someone wanted to stop them, they would attack and kill them without hesitation. Jian Wushuang was clearly planning to stop them. Swordsman, retreat. Retreat, retreat, retreat. Yin Minute and Ling Qianhao shouted widely at Jian Wushuang, but Jian Wushuang did not move at all. Retreat? Should I retreat? Impossible. Jian Wushuang roared in his heart. He was too weak 4 months ago, so he could only run away while being chased by a great number of silver and golden masked assassins from the Blood Feather Tower. But now, for months later, everything had changed. More importantly, his opponents were just 1 silver masked assassin and 8 copper masked assassins. They were not strong enough to make him retreat. Since he did not have to retreat, he would fight. This is war. I couldn't afford to stand out in the Golden Dragon subsidiary palace because there were too many people around. But everything that happens during the Golden Dragon Palace task is top secret. No one would dare to spread the information. So I don't have to worry about drawing attention or my true strength being revealed. Jian Wushuang raised his head, looking at them with cold eyes that were void of any emotion. He moved directly in front of the black-robed men and abruptly swung his triple-kill sword. The first move of anonymous swordsmanship, Blood Shadow. The speed of his sword flashed out. At this moment, it was even more incredible, cold, and harsh than ever before. On the roof, except for the silver-masked man, the other 8 black-robed men saw a dazzling sword light move towards them, with the reflection in their eyes growing larger. The sword light was too fast. A hint of panic could be felt coming from the 8 black-robed men. In the next moment, the sword flash swept past the necks of those 8 men without any obstruction. The 8 black-robed men fell down without making a sound. All of a sudden, the whole Qianhuan sect went dead still. Silence. Dead silence. Everyone in the Qianhuan sect was shocked by this terrifying sword speed. On top of the roof, the silver-masked man in a black robe was the only one still standing in front of Jian Wushuang. He glanced at the black-robed men who had all just died and felt frightened. He also saw the stroke from Jian Wushuang. The only one stroke swept past the necks of the 8 men at an amazing speed, killing all 8 of the exceptional spiritual Sea Realm assassins from Bloodfeather Tower. "Who are you?" The silver-masked man in a black robe asked with unprecedented seriousness. "I am Swordsman," Jian Wushuang answered indifferently. "I only want to leave here. I'm not trying to impede your task, and I'm not a person from the Qianhuan sect." "I shouldn't be a target from your task," the silver-masked man in a black robe said in a low voice. "It has nothing to do with the Golden Dragon Palace. You were all dead the moment I saw you," Jian Wushuang said without any emotion. "Let's see who die first." The silver-masked man in a black robe turned into a stream of light and appeared in front of Jian Wushuang. A dark red dagger pierced the air and immediately moved towards Jian Wushuang's head with an unprecedented speed. At the same time, a gruff voice from the silver-masked man in black robe rang out. "Go to hell." The eyes of the silver-masked man in a black robe were filled with killing intent. As an assassin at the silver mask level in the Bloodfeather Tower, his first move was a slaughter move. "Ridiculous," said Jian Wushuang. Smiling indifferently, he charged toward the killer. This seemingly casual sword move was the first move of anonymous swordsmanship, Blood Shadow. The speed of the sword light was unbelievably quick. That was the sword movement. The gray-robed elder, Mr. Hui, concentrated on this rooftop fight in the near distance. He looked serious. Sword essence of Gale. He grasped a sense of the sword essence of Gale. And his understanding of it is very deep. The sword movement was so quick. Yes, the speed was very fast. The dark red dagger had not reached Jian Wushuang, yet the sword light from Jian Wushuang's attack had already moved towards the silver-masked man in a black robe. Clang! As a deep metal crash sounded, the silver-masked man suddenly felt a strong power surge through his dark red dagger. The power of the clash instantly numbed his hands and forced him to retreat. The silver-masked man gaped in shock at Jian Wushuang. He hasn't reached primordial golden core, but his spiritual power is as strong as mine. More importantly, his swordsmanship is faster and superior to mine. Sword essence. Yes, he has grasped a sense of sword essence. It was no wonder that the silver-masked man in a black robe was so stunned. He could tell that Jian Wushuang had not reached the level of primordial golden pill yet. After all, spiritual power had a qualitative change once it reached the level of primordial golden pill. Once it was released, spiritual power at the primordial golden pill level couldn't be hidden. He didn't sense an aura at the level of the golden pill from Jian Wushuang. So he was sure that Jian Wushuang had not reached the level of primordial golden pill realm. This alone was enough to thoroughly surprise him. He has reached the peak of initial gold core realm, and there was only one step away from profound gold core realm. He used a slaughter move, but he was thoroughly defeated by Jian Wushuang, who had not even reached the gold core yet. What does it mean? Run! The silver-masked man in a black robe instantly made a decision. He could only run. As an assassin, speed was his strong point, so he fled for his life. However, the speed of Jian Wushuang was much faster than his. Trying to escape. Jian Wushuang said indifferently. What? The silver-masked man in a black robe was astonished and filled with a sense of bitterness. Warriors with a sense of the sword essence of Gale are best at speed. Go to hell, Jian Wushuang said while releasing a strong killing intent. It was the second move of anonymous swordsmanship, sword-killing movement. A dazzling and bloody sword light appeared. This strike is even faster and stronger than the previous one. The silver-masked man in a black robe was full of despair, and he even gave up on fighting back at this moment. The dazzling bloody sword light easily slashed out through his neck. Spurt. The silver-masked man in a black robe, at the level of initial gold core realm, was lying dead on the ground. Chapter 58. Contemptible Scoundrel. In Qianhuan's sect, everyone was surprised to see the silver-masked man in a black robe falling down. He was as proud as a peacock just now and said that no one could stand in his way. But he was killed by someone else in only a second. And it was a person who accepted a one-clawed gold dragon guard mission. Swordsman. He unexpectedly killed a gold core realm expert. He killed all 8 people in the exceptional spiritual sea realm and even the expert in the gold core realm. He couldn't even run away. Is he the same swordsman who could not take 3 moves from Dongfang Yu? He can kill innate gold core realm experts, but he could not take 3 attacks from Dongfang Yu. Everyone was shocked by what they had just witnessed. As for Dongfang Yu, his expression was extremely funny. How was that possible? Dongfang Yu murmured. His eyes were empty. He simply could not believe it. He killed 8 people in the exceptional spiritual sea realm. He even killed the gold core realm expert in 1 move. That man didn't even get a chance to run away. What level was his strength at? And it was the same man that could not take 3 moves from him during recruitment that did it. He couldn't believe it. He recalled what he said to Jian Wushuang at the beginning of the mission. You are just a waste. There are so many people in the Qianhuan sect that can kill you. His words had been full of disdain. Thinking back to those words, Dongfang Yu's complexion became very pale. He suddenly realized that Jian Wushuang must have lost on purpose. After killing the silver-masked man in a black robe on the roof, Jian Wushuang looked over and noticed Dongfang Yu inside the courtyard. Whoosh! Jian Wushuang moved swiftly towards Dongfang Yu, appearing in front of him in a second. Whoosh! An icy sword edge hit Dongfang Yu's throat. Hand over your interspatial ring, or you will die. Jian Wushuang said coldly without any emotion. Dongfang Yu moved his throat, clearly sensing the icy sword edge, remembering the recent death of the man of gold core realm. He had no doubt that Jian Wushuang could do it. The 4 people behind Dongfang Yu had disdained Jian Wushuang earlier, but now they did not even dare to breathe. Should I refuse? Dongfang Yu roared in mind. His small and fragile self-esteem fought with his reason, but in the end, his reason prevailed. While trembling, Dongfang Yu handed over an interspatial ring to Jian Wushuang without too much hesitation. Jian Wushuang took the interspatial ring and smiled. He looked Dongfang Yu up and down as if he was a contemptible scoundrel. Finally, Jian Wushuang withdrew and sheathed the triple-kill sword, walking away without a single word. Dongfang Yu and the 4 people sighed with relief after Jian Wushuang went away. At that moment, they were totally soaked in sweat, especially Dongfang Yu. He was still trembling even now. Suddenly Dongfang Yu turned to the 4 people behind him. An interspatial ring was taken away by Swordsman. That means only 2 people can finish the task now. Dongfang Yu looked gloomy. Then the complexions of the 4 people behind Dongfang Yu turned serious. Yin Minute and Ling Tianhao were waiting in the courtyard. It didn't take long for Jian Wushuang to arrive. Ling Tianhao moved towards Jian Wushuang and smiled. Haha, swordsman, innate gold core realm, a real gold core realm expert was killed by you. You are so awesome. You were indeed awesome, swordsman. Yin Minute gave Jian Wushuang the thumbs up. Well, the reason why your strength improved so much was because you had made a breakthrough, right? Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded. The reason that he was able to kill the 8 in the exceptional spiritual sea realm with only 1 stroke and even kill the silver-masked man in a black robe, who was at the peak of the initial gold core realm, was because he made a breakthrough and reached the ultimate spirit sea. As a result, his spiritual power improved to a level similar to an average warrior in the gold core realm. If he had not made a breakthrough, he could not have killed the silver-masked man in black robe so easily. We should leave here. Jian Wushuang said. What about the ring? Ling Tianhao asked. Don't worry. I took an interspatial ring just now. Jian Wushuang said. Oh. Yin Minute and Ling Tianhao both felt surprised. I saw Dongfang Yu and snatched an interspatial ring from him just now, said Jian Wushuang, smiling weirdly. After hearing that, Both Yin Minute and Ling Qianhao showed great interest. Ha ha, Swordsman, did you confront Dongfang Yu? Ling Qianhao looked excited. I don't think Dongfang Yu has enough courage to fight with you. He must have handed over the interspatial ring immediately. Ha ha, I wonder how terrible the expression on his face was, Yin Minute said and laughed. Certainly, it must have been very ugly, Ling Qianhao said and also laughed. Both Yin Minute and Ling Qianhao had some kind of beef with Dongfang Yu, so they disliked him. But they both could not contend with him. So it was reasonable for them to be so excited when they heard that Dongfang Yu suffered a defeat on Swordsman's hand. Jian Wushuang only shook his head and smiled. In his eyes, Dongfang Yu was just a contemptible scoundrel and could not make a difference at all. Outside this gigantic valley, the grey-robed elder Mr. Hue waited quietly. Some warriors in the one-clawed Gold Dragon Guard mission had recently returned. Mr. Hue didn't pay any attention to them though. However, when Jian Wushuang, Lin Minute and Lin Qianhao came back safe and sound, everyone immediately looked in their direction. Swordsman. Although he only reached spiritual sea realm, he killed an expert in primordial gold core. It was too awesome. The people who witnessed the death of the 9 black-robed men had complicated expressions while they looked at Jian Wushuang more carefully this time. Even the grey-robed elder, Mr. Hue, gave Jian Wushuang a friendly smile. Mr. Hue said gently, "Well done, kiddo." "Thanks," Jian Wushuang said modestly. "Please wait for a while," said Mr. Hue with a smile. Chapter 59. Invitation. The experts, who had accepted the task, came back one after another. Dongfang Yu, followed by the brown-haired man, was the last to arrive, but his appearance looked a little unnatural. "It's good that there are still 15 people alive in the end," Mr. Hue said indifferently with a casual glance. However, everyone else looked awestruck. More than 30 people at the exceptional spiritual sea realm accepted this mission, but only 15 people survived in the end. In other words, more than half of the people died during the mission. Some were killed by disciples from the Qianhuan sect, while the ones killed by fellow examinees is probably not only a few. Jian Wushuang thought secretly. Take Dongfang Yu for example. He was followed by 5 martial masters in the beginning, but now there was only the brown-haired man, who was seriously injured. So it was very clear to Jian Wushuang how the other 4 people had died. "Everyone who has an interspatial ring should give it to me," said Mr. Hue. Among the 15 people who survived, 10 stepped forward to hand in their rings. At which point, Mr. Hue took out a list and recorded their names. After recording their names, Mr. Hue waved his hand and threw them gold rings. "These are your Gold Dragon rings. The claw marks represent your rank in the Gold Dragon Guard. 1 claw mark stands for 1-clawed Gold Dragon Guard, while 2 stands for 2-clawed Gold Dragon Guard. From this day forth, you are members of the Gold Dragon Guard," Mr. Hue said loudly. After receiving the rings, Jian Wushuang and the other 9, who had completed the task, immediately used their blood to bind the rings. "Is this an interspatial ring?" Jian Wushuang became aware of the space contained in the interspatial ring when he inspected it with his mind. Then he laughed and said, "This interspatial ring will make it more convenient to carry things. You should be exhausted after completing the task, so you can take a break before returning to Qingdong City." After saying this, Mr. Hue glanced at Jian Wushuang and said, "Little guy, come with me." Jian Wushuang felt surprised as he followed Mr. Hue to the side. "Little guy, you hid so well. I did not notice the slightest flaw when you were defeated by Dongfang Yu within 3 rounds 3 days ago." Mr. Hue glanced at Jian Wushuang with a smile. Jian Wushuang only smiled awkwardly. "If I'm not mistaken, you should have some grievances with the Blood Feather Tower, right?" Mr. Hue asked suddenly. Jian Wushuang's complexion changed immediately. "It seems that I guessed right." It was clear to Mr. Hue when he saw the change in Jian Wushuang's expression. Every action has a reason. There must have been a reason for you to prefer giving up your face and allowing Dongfang Yu to defeat you within 3 rounds at the Gold Dragon Subsidiary Palace. Yet, during this mission, you killed all the people from Blood Feather Tower. So, I guess that you must have a huge feud with Blood Feather Tower. Hearing that, Jian Wushuang could only shrug his shoulders, replying in a deep voice, "I do, in fact, have a grudge with Blood Feather Tower. Unless I die, I will never stop seeking revenge. Unless you die. Mr. Hua frowned. Blood Feather Tower is the #1 assassin organization in the Qianzong dynasty. Their actions are very cruel and extreme. In the Qianzong dynasty, there are many people who have grudges with the Blood Feather Tower, deathless endlessly. But Qiannan province is not the main province where Blood Feather Tower operates. Their insidious hidden strength cannot be underestimated. If you are spotted by them, you will be in a big trouble, Mr. Hua said and smiled. But don't worry, the rehabilitation capacity of our Golden Dragon Palace is always good, and in general, it's not possible to let out the course of this mission. Therefore, although you have killed several martial experts of Blood Feather Tower, you don't need to worry about being spotted by the people of Blood Feather Tower. I know, Jian Wushuang said and nodded. But don't worry, our Gold Dragon Palace is always good at dealing with the aftermath. In general, it's impossible for the information of this mission to be leaked. Therefore, although you have killed several experts from Blood Feather Tower, you won't have to worry about being targeted by Blood Feather Tower. Little guy, you should have heard of Dragon Palace. Mr. Hua asked suddenly. Of course I have. Jian Wushuang nodded heavily. It will be much simpler if you already know about the Dragon Palace. Are you interested in cultivating in the Dragon Palace? Asked Mr. Hua while smiling mysteriously. Go to the Dragon Palace to cultivate? Jian Wushuang asked while surprised. Dragon Palace was a holy place full of exceptional geniuses. Jian Wushuang has always wanted to join a group like Dragon Palace, a place which was full of geniuses and monsters. Can I join Dragon Palace? Jian Wushuang asked immediately. I'm uncertain whether you can actually join Dragon Palace to cultivate. But, based on your performance in the Qianhuan sect, you can easily kill someone at the peak of initial Gold Core Realm in just 2 moves while you are only in Spiritual Sea Realm. This is incredible, and you can absolutely be called a monster, so you have a very good chance of entering Dragon Palace. Therefore, if you are willing to wait, I will ask for a Gold Dragon Ambassador to come and verify your actual strength once we return to Qingdong City. As long as you can gain the recognition and recommendation of the Gold Dragon Ambassador, you will have a chance cultivate at Dragon Palace. Mr. Hua paused and glanced at Jian Wushuang afterwards. So I'll ask you now, do you want to go to Dragon Palace for cultivation? Yes, of course I do, Jian Wushuang nodded and said immediately, without any hesitation. Dragon Palace was a holy place for cultivation. Numerous talents in the Qianzong dynasty were eager to join and cultivate, and Jian Wushuang was no exception. After all, a warrior who cultivated blindly by himself could become an expert. But compared with warriors who had a lot of resources and were instructed by experts, he would still be inferior. Jian Wushuang possessed remarkable ability in swordsmanship because he had followed his father in practicing swordsmanship since he was a child. Therefore, he knew very well that there was a large difference between having a teacher and learning on his own. Haha, I will immediately arrange for you as you wish after returning to Qingdong City. In addition, it doesn't matter if you eventually didn't enter into Dragon Palace, but once you enter into Dragon Palace, you needn't care about Blood Feather Tower. Because Dragon Palace will protect its talented disciples strictly, even Blood Feather Tower is hard to find chance to kill you, and even if there is a chance, they dare not to kill the disciples of Dragon Palace. Mr. Hua said with a smile. After hearing these words, Jian Wushuang's eyes lit up again. What was he most worried about? It was not having the chance to grow up and become stronger, the chance that Blood Feather Tower did not want to give him. If he joined the Dragon Palace, he could grow up slowly over the next few years under the protection of the Dragon Palace. He would even have a chance to grow strong enough to make the Blood Feather Tower treat him seriously, maybe even fear him. Chapter 60. Yi Rufeng. Jian Wushuang returned to where Yin Minute and Ling Qianhao were after his conversation with Mr. Hua. Brother Swordsman, what did His Excellency say? The impatient Ling Qianhao immediately asked. He asked me if I want to join the Dragon Palace, Jian Wushuang said. Join the Dragon Palace? Ling Qianhao stared at him wide-eyed. The Dragon Palace? Yin Minute was also looking at him in shock. The warriors who accepted the mission with them also overheard Jian Wushuang's answer, and their expressions changed. Some looked envious, some appeared shocked, and there were also those who shot him looks of longing. Dong Fang Yu's expression, in particular, was complex beyond measure. He still remembered how his great master, Zhu Dao, had been complimenting him on his ability to join the Dragon Place when they were in the Golden Dragon subsidiary palace. He said, "Dongfang, you only lacked someone to recommend him." But Mr. He did not even spare him a glance. Yet Mr. He had taken the initiative to invite Jian Wushuang to join the Dragon Palace. The way he treated them both was too dramatically different. Humph. So what if Mr. He is willing to play matchmaker? The recommendation list is with the Golden Dragon Ambassador, not Mr. He. Even if Mr. He has the recommendation list, it's not like he'll be able to join the Dragon Place if he wants to. Dongfang Yu was feeling a deep envy toward Jian Wushuang. Now, listen carefully. The sonorous voice of Mr. He suddenly reverberated as his gaze traveled around the place. The missions issued by our Golden Dragon Palace have always been secrets. Though you've joined the mission, you mustn't reveal anything about it, whether it's the process or the result. If it is leaked and we find out it's you, we'll kill you no matter who you are. Everyone looked serious. No one dared to defy the rules of the Golden Dragon Palace. Well, let's go back to the Qingdong city. With a wave of Mr. He's hand, everyone immediately embarked on their way back to the Qingdong city. They all felt tense when they made their way here, but much more relaxed now that their mission was done. Those who had officially become the one-clawed Golden Dragon Guard were in especially high spirits. Before long, they made it back to the Golden Dragon subsidiary palace in the Qingdong city. The second they reached the place, Mr. He immediately said to Jian Wushuang, "Young man, come with me to see the Golden Dragon Ambassador." "Sure." Jian Wushuang nodded. "Brother Swordsman, I really need to thank you this time. Go ahead and see the Golden Dragon Messenger. When you return, we must have a good drink," said Ling Qianhao, smiling. "Howsy, mouse, and I will be waiting for you at the Celestial Immortal Residence with good wine," Yin Minute said with a smile. "No problem." Jian Wushuang nodded with a smile. He then followed Mr. He in the direction of the inner hall of the attic. When they came to an empty secret room, Mr. He said, "Wait here for a moment. I'll go meet the Golden Dragon Ambassador." "Thank you." Jian Wushuang nodded. Mr. He was not gone for long. Soon, he returned with a grim-looking middle-aged man dressed in a crimson robe. Jian Wushuang had met this man before. It was none other than the Golden Dragon Ambassador who had killed 14 experts of the Gold Core realm of the Qianhuan sect. He immediately bowed. "Your Excellency, Golden Dragon Ambassador." "Huaman, is he the young man who you mentioned has the chance to cultivate in the Dragon Palace?" The middle-aged man asked. "Yes, his name is Swordsman," Huaman replied. "Swordsman? It's probably a pseudonym." When the middle-aged man looked at Jian Wushuang, he felt as if he was being targeted by an ancient fierce beast. "I'll introduce myself first, young man. I'm Yi Rufeng and, as for my rank, you should be aware that I'm the Golden Dragon Ambassador of the Golden Dragon Palace," Yi Rufeng said slowly. "Earlier Huaman has told me about you and he spoke highly of you. But the recommendation list to enter the Dragon Palace is in my hands. So if you want to join us for cultivation, you must first display enough talent to satisfy me." "I understand." Jian Wushuang nodded. "Good. I'll be your opponent. Show me all that you've got and remember, you don't have many opportunities," Yi Rufeng said. "Yes." Jian Wushuang took a deep breath, his expression turning solemn. As what Yi Rufeng had mentioned, he truly did not have many opportunities. "Golden Dragon Ambassador, I'll start." He was already gripping his triple-kill sword and a strong fighting desire rose in him. "Feel free to come at me." Yi Rufeng had his hands behind his back and wore an indifferent expression. Anonymous swordsmanship, sword-killing movement. Jian Wushuang's eyes turned cold as he gathered his killing intent. A stream of dazzling bloody sword essence burst forth. His killing intent rose sharply at that moment, before being pushed to its peak. Yi Rufeng was surprised. "Oh, it's the formless swordsmanship." He, as the Golden Dragon Messenger and the strongest warrior at the Yin-Yang Void Realm, was naturally familiar with the so-called first in the world, the formless swordsmanship. He did not use any martial arts technique or show any of his amazing cultivation of spiritual power. With a simple wave of his sleeves, He easily diffused Jian Wushuang's strongest sword move. When he was done, he stretched out his fingers. Clang! He caught the edge of the triple-kill sword like a pincer. No matter how much Jian Wushuang struggled, he could not move the sword out of Yi Rufeng's firm hold. This? Jian Wushuang was greatly shocked. He had long known that Yin-Yang Void Realm warriors had impressive strength, but he did not expect it to be this strong. After making a breakthrough into the ultimate spirit sea level, he could kill the strongest initial gold core realm with ease. But now the strongest move he could use was so easily diffused by Yi Rufeng, to the point where his sword was even being controlled by mere fingers. You're already pretty good to be able to use the second type of the formless swordsmanship to this extent. Yi Rufeng was still holding the triple-kill sword in place, but he was now smiling at Jian Wushuang. You imbued the sword essence of Gale in your swordsmanship, and you also have a high comprehension of it. Not bad. Not bad at all. He finally loosened his grip, allowing Jian Wushuang to retrieve his sword. It's a shame that I don't have a swordsmanship suitable for the sword essence of Earth. Otherwise. Jian Wushuang balled his hands into fists, feeling unsatisfied with the outcome. He had comprehended sword essence of Gale and sword essence of Earth at nearly the same time. Though he comprehended the former earlier, he later realized that he comprehended sword essence of Earth faster and ended up doing just that in the Dark Forest in the past 3 months. Thus, he had a better comprehension of the sword essence of Earth. Unfortunately, he did not have a suitable swordsmanship to display it. Take his strongest move, the anonymous swordsmanship, as an example. It emphasized on speed and was most suitable to be used with the sword essence of Gale. When paired with the sword essence of Earth, it not only seemed out of place, its might was also reduced greatly. And with that breathtaking, earth-shaking victory, we conclude Chapter 60. Wushuang has fought through the toughest rounds, defeating one of the continent's supreme geniuses and cementing his status as a true, rising sword god. His triumph has not only secured his place in the highest tier, but has also drawn the attention of the domain's most hidden power brokers. The major battles are won, but the supreme champion, the final, strongest rival, still awaits. And a dangerous, deeper conspiracy is finally revealed. Join us next time for chapters 61, 62, 63, 64, and 65, as Wushuang prepares for the final duel and confronts the political machinations hiding behind the competition. Thank you for listening to Panda Audiobooks. If you are ready for the grand finale of this arc, please subscribe and hit that notification bell.